So you've got Ringo as your cornerback 6. You've set me up for the perfect, easy layup transition here. Your third, let's see, third underrated player on the list is another cornerback in this class who just a day ago on Twitter you called the most underrated prospect in this draft class. It's Maryland cornerback Deonte Banks. Where do you have him on your cornerback rankings? He's the first guy we've talked about here that is not a consensus first round, early second round player. He's all the way down cornerback, too many to count, frankly, here off the jump. He's number 91 overall prospect on the consensus board. Now, I do see they show the trends here, and recently he's been trending further up and up boards. So I think that people are starting to realize that he's been slept on a little bit early in this process. But talk to me about Banks, why you love him so much, and why you think he's so underrated.
So Deonte Banks falls into the category of people just haven't watched him, which, I mean, like, I underrate players Maryland, by not rating them when I haven't watched them. It's, it's not like takes people a long time to get through all these players, but I was put on his radar when I think like one of the ESPN guys had him as like a first rounder, and I pay attention to that stuff early in the process because I want to be like early to watch the film on the guys that are going to go early, and so when I saw that, I checked out his film and was just, I think that he is really an all-around cornerback prospect. Like, he's really good in press, plays with great leverage at the line of scrimmage. He had this rep against, I can't remember the player, a receiver for Ohio State, where he just like bench pressed him, put the release in neutral, and then just like drove him 7 yards back past the line of scrimmage. One of the most dominant press coverage reps that I've seen. He has really smooth hips. He can make really quick speed turns. He's really composed and comfortable playing the ball down the field. There's a lot of times it's a really difficult situation for a corner where you're not in phase, meaning you don't have hand contact with the receiver and you're like chasing him downfield and the ball's coming over your head. Like, that's an almost impossible situation because you need to run full speed to recover and not allow separation. But if you overrun and make too much contact, then you're going to draw a DPI. And Deonte Banks has had a lot of those situations where he's just in a super awkward position in terms of playing the ball. And he just shows so much body control and composure, where he can adjust his speed to just, maintain that perfect distance with the receiver, and then, read the receiver's body language, play the ball in the air. His biggest issue is only 2 career interceptions, had a lot of pass breakups this year, but there were a lot of could be interceptions that he dropped or just wasn't able to make a play on. And I think he might. I don't think my comparison for him in terms of play style, I had 2 comps. It was Jeff Okudah and Eric Stokes, but I could see him being a similar player to Adoree Jackson in the sense that Adoree Jackson gets a ton of pass breakups, but just can't catch the ball and like never gets interceptions. I could see that being the case with Deonte Banks, but just in terms of his pure coverage ability, I think he's a first round pick.
That's fascinating. He's a guy that I was looking here just a second ago. Dane Brugler has him in his first round mock as well, and he described him as a cover and clobber cornerback with rangy speed, which is a pretty fascinating way of describing him as a guy. Do you see him as a cornerback that could be a press corner at the NFL level, or do you see him playing in a different capacity?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's at his best in press coverage. He's listed at 6'2". I just posted a film breakdown of Deonte Banks, so y'all should go check that out. I talked about this. He's listed at 6'2", but I call BS on that. I think he's more like 6.5 But the important thing, once you're after 6 foot, like, it doesn't matter. Being 6'2" is almost more difficult to play corner than being like 6'6'1", just because you're so top heavy. But he's 205 pounds, like really well built, really compact frame. And, he's great at getting that underneath leverage at the line of scrimmage, and really powerful punch and press coverage. So yeah, I think he could play off coverage, but I don't, I think I would definitely want to draft him to a press heavy scheme, because that's going to utilize his skill set the best.